The Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you as always by patreon.com/JuRY. Support the show and make sure that you keep independent broadcasting alive. Podcasts, they're your friends, but they're only your friends if you continue to support it. So head on over there, patreon.com/JuRY. And if you're into politics, well, of course, I do the politics podcast. But what I also do is a free political newsletter. You're like, wait a minute, where can I get this free political newsletter 5 days a week in my inbox that keeps me up to date with all the stories that I don't necessarily want to wade into the morass and frustrate myself on? And also, when you give them to me, can I have GIFs that illustrate the stories, and can 50% of them be from Chappelle's show? Yes, you can. You can just go sign up for free at freepoliticalnewsletter.com. Again, freepoliticalnewsletter.com. But enough of talking about how we support the show. Oh, what do you say we just do the damn thing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Justin Robert Young Show. I gotta say, man, I've made no secret that this show is something that's in flux. We're taking a lot of swings. We're trying a lot of things. We're doing some different stuff here, doing stuff that might be a little bit out of my comfort zone. But you want to know what? Every once in a while, the audience, I say, chat realm, take the wheel. That's what I say. I'm going to put that on a bumper sticker. Chat realm, take the wheel. That is what this show is about today, because you, the good denizens of Diamond Club, chat realm incarnate, you guys came strong. I got so many motherfucking emails that we're going to take up this entire show with emails because they're so good. They're better than the topics that I would have come up with. And I want to see how long we can keep this going. Maybe this turns into Ask JuRY. Maybe this turns in. That emails have always been a good part of the show, but, you know, maybe we make it an even bigger part of the show. But before we start, I want to bring up two things that maybe can spur more emails going forward. Two stories that hit my worldview this morning while I was putting the show together. Here's the first. This is nominally a sports story, but don't worry. If you hate sports, it will be relatively painless. It appears as if we have another N-word guy. The NFL draft is tonight in Arlington, Texas. And so many hopes and dreams will be cemented, and the future of many NFL franchises will be written, if just slightly more. One of the biggest quarterbacks in the draft is a tall drink of water from the, I guess, Wyoming. Is it Wyoming University? College of Wyoming? Whatever. Wyoming. Josh Allen, possibility that he would be the number 1 pick in the draft. That's a big deal, right? Except for the fact that somebody apparently leaked to Yahoo Sports right at the 11th hour that he has a troubling Twitter history. Oh, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. He dropped N-bombs. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Prayer hands emoji. Every day, I thank the good Lord above. Thank you, baby Jesus, that I did not have Twitter in high school. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, am I so excited that I did not have Twitter in high school. I'm excited I didn't have YouTube in high school. I feel like I got all those things just in time for me to be mature enough for them. Young Josh Allen did not have the chance to have Twitter meet him at a more mature moment. Instead, he tweeted a bunch of, since deleted, by the way. So that's how you know that this shit is dirty pool. Some other agent, some other rival team or something like that, somebody that might be looking for Josh Allen to fall to them in the draft, they found this shit that has been since deleted. You can't go find it on his Twitter now. So somebody's found it, was sitting on this shit for a while. And then they leak it to Yahoo Sports the day of the draft. I don't think you ends want a troubled son. Ends trying to get at me, dough, says Josh Allen QB. About to show these ends at Pong. He also responded to a question that looked like was asked of him on Ask FM on 2013, saying, if it ain't white, it ain't right. Why are you so white? If it ain't white, it ain't right. He answered back. And then gratuitously, they also threw in the fact that he hates LeBron James. 2011, he just said, I hate LeBron. LeBron sucks. That's one of them where, whatever. You get a pass on hating LeBron in 2011. That's fine. You're allowed. So let me ask you guys a question. Here's my question to the JuRY faithful. What is the point? Well, here, no. Let me rephrase that. How much do you value old social media? Should this affect this guy's job? And how much of a conversation is it? And let me also point this out. I don't want white people answering this. I want only non-whites to email in to justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Non-whites only. Not because I don't think that this is something where a white person can't have a good opinion on it. That's not it. But I just need the opinion of the... I need the opinion of people that are marginalized by a person in power being rewarded after having the N-word in writing in their past. That's what I need. Without a doubt, it's racist. I guess, is there a racist window? Like, at what point is I just repeated what my dad told me not a thing that you say anymore, right? Man, am I glad. Man, am I glad that I did not have Twitter. I would have a lot of N-words. I don't think I would have, if it ain't white, it ain't right. But as you guys heard, for those of you who heard my old stand-up comedy stuff, certainly not beyond trying to make a point about racism or a joke at the expense of racists or homophobes and having that experience blow up immediately in my face if it were preserved forever on Twitter. So, man, am I glad. Oh, God. The fact that the only thing preserved in ember forever on the internet is me 4 years after the stand-up comedy album that I made where I dropped an F slur. Oh, mwah, that's a good Twitter. Love it. All right, so go ahead and email that. Here's the other thing that I found that I thought was really funny. This came from the Offbeat News subreddit. Headline: Nightclub DJ beaten up after playing Despacito for the 10th time. Serious quarrel happened last weekend in an Ibiza nightclub after a group of heated young men went upstairs toward the DJ booth, hitting and kicking him. Security staff were barely able to cope with the mess and had to call the police fast enough to arrest the 4 attackers and took them to the station. One of them alleged that the DJ was playing the Luis Fonsi song Despacito, and that they had been warning him to stop playing it because they were fed up, but he kept challenging them. When he got to the 10th time, they could not stand no more, so they went up to beat the crap out of him. This reminded me of a story. Buddy of mine, old roommate, told me. Went to a real blue-collar Pittsburgh pool hall where he grew up. Shout out to West Mifflin. West Mifflin. And they played, put in $5 into the jukebox, nothing but fat bottom girls. Fucking whatever $5 gets you. That's like 10 songs, right? Because you get like the bonus when you pay all up front. 10 songs, all fat bottom girls, which I think comedically is the funniest because it's a long song and it has the it has its own cadence to it, but also it begins with the "Oh, you gonna take me home tonight." So it's just like on the 4th revolution around the sun of, oh, apparently some dude just kicked out the fucking, kicked out the plug on the jukebox, which I always just imagine is just like such a funny call and response of like somebody being like, all right, I'm going to put up with it for the 3rd time, breaking the set. But then on the 4th time, it's just, oh. So I need the funniest song that could be played 10 times in a row to annoy people. I need the funniest song. Email that to me, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. But you want to know what? We're going right to the mailbag, baby. Right to the mailbag. Okay. Anonymous Diamond writes, you once mentioned that while proposing, you hand a camera to a stranger and put it on video mode because they'll miss the shot you want, but you can frame grab the image you want if it's a video. Do I do this to ensure I get my proposal preserved forever in an image? Should I make sure that I record it? Can I keep the surprise while handing my phone to a stranger and hoping that they don't run off with it? Any more advice on this and how to pull it off would be greatly appreciated. All right. So When I proposed to my wife, Ashley Paramore, we went out to Seattle, and I knew that there was like a certain place that like had a great sort of look, specifically at sunset. So my point of view on this is that you can't trust. Like, here's what I'm trying to give you. Here's what my strategy promises. The element of surprise, a photograph that you are going to want to share on social media, and video of the entire thing. So, for the person that is getting proposed to, you are just going to take a picture with them. This is just, this looks like a nice spot. It helps if you're on vacation. That's what helped for me. We don't live in Seattle. We live in California. So when we were up there, it made sense for us to be like, let's take a picture here. There was also the fact that I had lied. I had stage lied to my wife and said that despite the fact that we were taking this trip so I could propose to her, we could have a nice little engagement weekend, that I had not been able to get the ring in time, so we were just going to have a nice weekend. So I had lied. I had theatrically lied to her so we could make the moment more special. Here was my move with the dude that, who TVZ got remembered, it was Vape Bro. You put your phone into video mode, start recording, hand it to him, and say, hey, just keep it on us. Don't press anything. That's it. Most of these phones got autofocus. You're not going to have to worry about anything, or at least anything else that you wouldn't normally have to worry about. And in general, people have been handing their phones and cameras to strangers forever. If it looks like somebody who also has another phone, you probably don't have to worry about them stealing it. So here are the keys. Find a place that is a strategically advantageous place to take a photo. A place that a nice photo would be taken. In general, nobody really has a problem with, hey, let's take a nice photo together. 2018, a nice photo together is as good as fucking gold. Somebody will go out of their way to take a nice photo with you. The other thing is just make sure that this is a foolproof solution for the person recording you. Camera's on, video's on, you're ready to roll. Those are the two major keys. Matthew writes, I just want to thank you for all the work you do. The Tuesday hype train has been helpful distraction to me. It distracted me from the Toronto van incident that happened on Monday. I live on Yonge Street where it happened, and last night they finally reopened the street. Jesus. That's a lot, man. That's harsh. That's fucking crazy, dude. Big shout out to you. You know, people get down whenever a tragedy happens, and you're like, oh, well, this matters more to me because XYZ. But look, proximity is a huge part of human emotions. Everything feels more intense because it happened close to you. M. Bomb McCube says the incel movement is dangerous. I mean, I'll tell you what. Maybe we can get into that next week. It's that is a weird scene, man. There's no doubt about that. It's something that I don't personally find very healthy. I think that it's a fairly, well, I will say I don't know a lot about it other than what's been reported. I have not been in an incel forum, and I've not done much reading on the incel movement. But if those of you who don't know, incel means involuntary celibate. If it is anything other than a self-improvement movement, or people are using it as anything other than a self-improvement movement, then I think that there are troubling elements to that. Troubling elements that would make it seem as if you are owed something that I don't think that anybody is owed. Zella says, is that a movement or a bunch of people with issues on a subreddit? I feel like movement is going far. If we want to get into semantics, then yeah, I don't know. I'm not here. I just said movement. I'm not here to brand it a movement, whatever. But then again, I don't know what the difference between a bunch of people with an issue on a subreddit and a movement is. Like, is it dues? Do they need a central organization? Do they need to follow Robert's Rules of Order when they have a meeting? I don't know. But again, I don't know enough about it to make any big pronunciations. I'll do some research and we can talk about it. RJ writes, you've said on the air a few times that when you die, you want to be ripped apart by wild animals. I was rewatching Annie Hall, and one of the characters said almost the exact same thing. Is that where you got it from? All right, this is a two-part question. We'll come back to RJ in a second. But I genuinely don't know whether or not I stole I want to be ripped apart by wild animals when I die from Annie Hall. In my mind, my point of view on some sort of wild, ridiculous, bodily harming death came from a David Cross stand-up where he was talking about how he wants to donate his body to necrophilia when he's dead because he doesn't care. He's dead. If you want to have sex with his body, fine. Go ahead. Sex it all out. He won't care. He's dead. So from that, in my mind, I remember thinking, oh, well, it would be great. But I actually had, when I was a kid, a teenager, and you are prone to just wanting to say edgelord shit in front of your mom to see her horrified face, I said that my funeral plans were to be, in this order, at a minor league baseball game, after the game, in center field, to be devoured by wild animals with all my friends and family in the stadium. And I think at one point I also wanted a live band. I then wanted my funeral to have clowns, strippers, and stripper clowns. I wanted all three. Just straight plain Jane clowns, just regular ass strippers, and then a few gray area in the Venn diagram stripper clowns at the funeral. That was my teenage wishes. My teenage wishes for how I wanted my bodily remains to be disposed of. Now, I haven't thought about that a lot because I've since evolved my position on funeral planning to the point where I don't have funeral plans anymore because I'm sure that I'm not going to die. I very much believe that I will live to the point where we have some sort of infinite body replication, if not a singularity where my consciousness will live forever. So now I don't think so much about my funeral or how awesome it's going to be because I don't think it's ever going to happen. I will be with you all forever. So that is the evolution. The idea of the wild African dogs came from me seeing wild African dogs in the Bronx Zoo because they're just the most adorable little things. Oh, my God. They're great. And they're the most deadly pack animals on the savannah. Fuck a tiger. Sorry, not a tiger. A lion. Tigers don't exist in the savannah. Fuck a lion. Fuck an elephant. Nothing's more dangerous than wild African dogs. That's the way to go. RJ continues. In that same vein, I made a realization recently. I have an obsession with Celtic music, and there's a lot of songs on the subject of what you do with what you want your friends to do with your body after you're dead. One of the best songs is by the Pogues, describing a man who wants his friend to leave him in a dried creek because then no corpse can lie above me. Another good one is The Night Patty Murphy Died by the Great Big Sea. Literally a bunch of dudes hijack a hearse with their dead friend in it and take him out to drink Weekend at Bernie's style. Well, that's like the cop funeral, right? Maybe it was just in The Wire, but I thought it was from a real thing that a cop funeral, maybe it is an Irish thing. You just lay them out on the pool table with the pennies on their eyes, and everybody gets wasted and toasts everybody has one last night out drinking with the deceased. I don't know if anybody else has any cool shit to do with your body after you're dead songs. Go ahead and send those in too. Justin Robert Young at gmail.com. Is that just an Irish wake? Is an Irish wake just all right? So I'm adding to it. I'm adding to my official funeral planning. I have made it known right here on the show. Before I'm eaten by wild dogs, I want to have an Irish wake. Everybody gets blasted with my dead-ass corpse on the table. Then I want to be eaten by wild dogs at a minor league ballpark with all my friends and family. And then I want another event with clowns, strippers, and stripper clowns. There we go. 3 phases. I'm just saying block out a long weekend. Block out a long weekend when I die. Just knock that shit out. We can start the first one on Friday. I get eaten by a pack of wild dogs on Saturday. We might have a PETA thing with that. So we might have to clear some red tape. You might have a week before I'm actually thrown out there. And then Sunday, clown strippers and stripper clowns. That'll be a more subdued event. You can bring the kids to that one. Cryogenically frozen caveman wrote us. I told y'all came strong on these motherfucking emails. Strong on these emails. I love it. Chat realm, take the wheel, baby. I find myself getting into the occasional argument with randos on Twitter about politics. I purposely follow people I don't agree with in an attempt to avoid an echo chamber scenario. But I sometimes struggle to not engage with people of opposing ideologies. However, regardless of whether I feel like I've won or not, quote unquote, I always end up in a bad mood and anxious, twitchy feeling. Should I leave Twitter and Facebook, or should I double down and get in more fights until I don't get anxious anymore? How do you approach Twitter? Do you build an echo chamber? And do you get in fights with randos? You have hit a very, very rich nerve here, cryogenically frozen caveman. Because what you have uncovered is nothing less than my secret agenda. My secret agenda in everything that I do. I was talking with Tamar, my chief strategist, yesterday. And she said she defined my brand as radical male empathy, which I love. I love radical male empathy I feel like I should just translate into Latin and have like underneath a very regal picture of me in a sea captain's outfit. If you are getting in fights with people on Twitter, the problem is not other people and the problem is not Twitter. The problem is you. You need to understand that the world is not an argument to be won. The world is a community that needs to move forward. So when I do politics, a lot of people say, oh, you're not taking shit seriously. You're not taking shit seriously. You're just trying to make jokes. And yes, I am trying to make jokes. And yes, I am trying to highlight some of the more ridiculous elements of our political system. I do that on here too. But ultimately, what I want to deprogram and reprogram everybody who listens is don't take everything so seriously. You can't. And you need to understand that when somebody has a different opinion, even a dangerous one, that the best way that you can combat it isn't by yelling at them, it's by doing better yourself. Look at your own plate. Think about how you're solving the problems that somebody else is yelling about. Now, that's not to say that there's no worth in not amplifying bad actors or in making it clear to those around you so you can shape the society that you are on one side and not the other. But I believe that there is a lot of space between doing that responsibly and being true to yourself and trying to shape your community by your own example and getting into fights with people that you believe you think you can win. Because there is no winning with that. There is no clowning. It's why I hate the fucking, Colbert destroys blank. Bill Maher destroys blank. Or this peed BTFO'd Don Lemon. Like, I hate that. I think that is actively an active cancer in our culture that we need to be better than. Because I do believe that there's tremendous progress to be made. We are nowhere near where we need to be. But my personal philosophy is that whenever you see somebody that you disagree with, look inside yourself and say, how can I help fix that today with real things? Because here's where I think, when I say it's an active cancer, here's why I think it's an active cancer. Because it's empty fucking calories. Yelling at somebody you don't agree with on Twitter is the same thing as saying, just went for my first workout, and having everybody give you all those hearts, having everybody give you all those likes, having all your friends and family say, great, we're so excited for you, and then you never go back to the gym. Because you got what you wanted. You have what you craved. Validation, belief in other people, or belief from other people that you're doing the good job. That doesn't get you any skinnier, doesn't make you any stronger, doesn't correct anything that needs to be corrected. So that energy that you feel when somebody says something fucked up, when somebody says something racist, when somebody says something that you believe politically is moving our country in the wrong direction, think about how you can solve that problem. Because guess what? If all they're doing is jaw jacket on Twitter about it, then if you do something, one little thing, you already got a head start. Because they're bullshitting on Twitter, and you're actually fucking doing something. So guess who's ahead in the game? The person who's not going back and forth, wasting their time, burning calories all through their fucking thumb joints. I'm just saying. I got miles on you motherfuckers. I'm doing my own shit. Silently building my causes. All y'all motherfuckers are saying, oh, I don't think so. Oh, I got you. I'm miles ahead. Dav from Canada writes, okay, I'll get to the point. I've been in the dating scene a while, And while I've recently met this one lady, she makes me forget what I'm talking about if she looks at me the right way. It's bad in a good way. But in the 21st century, I did my due diligence and researched her, and now I know, among other things, that she goes by her middle name instead of her first name. So, JuRY, when, if ever, should I, or anyone for that matter, reveal the results of dating research? All right. I will let you know, Dav. I am an unrepentant dating researcher. Unrepentant dating researcher. I have been a dating researcher since high school. I have abused my position of authority to be a dating researcher. When I was on the high school paper, we had one of those master books that would show you where everybody's classes were. They'd print it out at the beginning of the semester. So that way, you know, if we needed to find somebody for a story, we would know where they are. I'm sure all this shit is digitized now, but this shows you how fucking old I am. If I liked a girl, I'd look up where her classes were. I don't think I ever really did anything with it, but I would see what classes she was taking. I would get a little, get a little information. When I was in college and I was working at a newspaper, I'd look up classes, hear it again. You know, when social media came around, oh boy, oh man, I'm so good. I don't want to brag. I'm so good. I thought about doing a podcast once, or maybe I did it as a segment in a podcast where I would literally just look at somebody's Facebook page and I could tell you everything about them. I would be better than a motherfucking palm reader telling you personal tics, interests, hobbies, the future based on somebody's Facebook page. So I am a 5-star social media creep. In fact, oh God, I don't even think I can tell this story. But, all right, I'll tell this story. I'll keep it anonymous. There was a girl that I was hooking up with. And I'd kind of known. And I had noticed when we first met, went on a little Facebook, found out she had a boyfriend. Next thing you know, we are making out. Shit's about to go down. And I told her I knew. Before it went down, I said, so wait, what's the deal with all this? There was no, eventually there was some what's your man got to do with me because it wound up going down anyway. But I put all of my cards on the table immediately. I jeopardized my own fuck sesh so I could tell her that I had done my homework and I knew what was going on. So I'm a bad person to ask about this because I am a maximum creep when it comes to that kind of research. But I'm also not a great secret keeper when it comes to it. So this might be bad advice. My advice would be, you got to tell her immediately. But this is another personal philosophy of mine. I don't like to keep things inside. In fact, it is the utmost sign of respect that I would have for somebody if I keep your secret secret. because I don't like to do it. And I specifically don't like to do it if it could hurt somebody else. So I think I phrased it as, hey, like, have you just not updated your Facebook? Because your Facebook still says you're in a relationship. But that's me. That was my thing. It still went down, by the way. I'm saying there is a lot that can be gained, both in inner peace and in respect from the outer world, if you don't keep secrets. If you're constantly a conduit and a flow of information, even embarrassing or ridiculous information. So I gotta be 100 with you, Dav. I gotta be honest with you. I would say it immediately. The next time you see her, I would say, why do you go by your middle name? I looked it up on Facebook. I'm a creep. Scott says, okay, dude, oh shit. Wait, hold on. Oh my God. Wait, we might have to save some of these for next week. We're already past Tom time. All right, we're going to skip this one. Amos writes, just writing in to express my delight over the latest couple episodes of JuRY where you've included the Let's Check In with Tom segment. Brilliant. Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Amos, for writing in. We got to go to Tom right now. I didn't realize time had gotten away from me. We got to call Tom right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are calling up Tom Merritt, the host of Daily Tech News Show. And my friend, and now the person who I bug at the end of every episode of the JuRY Show. Oh, here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Tom Merritt. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Justin Robert Young. How are you?
All right. I got a question for you. This is what we were talking about. So Dav from Canada wants to know, he likes this girl. He researched her on Facebook, found out a few things that might not be something that this girl would want out on Front Street. When, if ever, does he tell her about it?
What's his relationship to this person?
Just met her. But things are going great. He's like really into it.
It's like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so he went and did his due diligence. Now, my point was, I have always been an unrepentant creep about looking up public information on people. I've done it since I was in high school. And I have normally, my code of honor on it is that I almost immediately tell people everything I know about them. So I go get the information, but I very rarely keep it to myself.
Yeah. Well, there's so many other things that play into it, right?
Yeah.
Like, is what kind of person is she? Can she, is she an open person? Is she a secretive person? What is the nature of the thing he found, right? Like, obviously it's, you don't want this out there kind of thing.
So he didn't make it seem like it was anything awful. It was just the one thing he said was that she goes by her middle name instead of her first name, and then he said among other things. So I think I'm
going to throw out a bit from personal experience as an example. So I was dating a girl in Austin. We're going to call her May.
Okay.
Okay, it's not her name.
Sure.
But so I was dating May, and I found out that she had been a dominatrix in Fort Collins, Colorado.
How did you? So was that through the grapevine, or was that online?
It was not on Usenet. This was 1996-ish, right?
So you didn't just Yahoo her name, and then all of a sudden the Usenet group came up.
Yeah. So I heard it from someone else in the know that we mutual friend. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, here's a person where this is something she definitely is not going around telling people.
Sure.
This is somebody who knew her in Fort Collins. That's how he knew.
Yeah.
And yet I estimated, I was like, she's the kind of person who's put that behind her but I don't think she'll be embarrassed about it. She just doesn't want to be defined by it. So I decided to bring it up and say, hey, May, you know, Colin over here, also not his real name,
sure,
said that, you know, he used to be a dominatrix in Fort Collins. You know, is he telling the truth? You know.
Okay, wait a minute. Set this scene, because this is you are painting an amazing picture for us right now. Where are you when you bring this up? Your living room? You out at a bar, dinner?
In her little studio apartment.
Okay.
In Central Austin.
All right.
You know, the leaves are turning outside. and we are I think we're just sitting around having a beer, like in the afternoon on a mutual day off.
Gotcha. So just hanging out, super chill, shooting the breeze, chopping it up, seeing what's going on.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't remember how I broached it exactly word for word.
Were you nervous? Were you nervous to do it?
No, it was one of those things where the conversation just flowed to the point where I said,
okay,
well, you know what? Colin said you used to be a dominatrix in Colorado. You kind of did that.
Gotcha. Like, yeah, you did. You like,
And she's like, and she just kind of chuckled and was like, yeah, I used to do a lot of things in Fort Collins. I was like, that's cool. Like, you know, what made you leave it behind? And then we had kind of a conversation like, well, you know, it was fun, but stressful. And I just kind of needed to get away from the scene. And that's one of the reasons I moved here. And then we ended up having a really in-depth conversation of why she had come to Austin and where she wanted to go with her life. She wanted to study dinosaurs. And
she wanted to what?
Yeah, she was going to UT as an archaeologist. Wait, was it archaeology? I think. But yeah, she wanted to study dinosaur bones.
And that was, so that's just not, you can't be
like,
dominatrixing and digging up dino bones.
Yeah, she's like, I just kind of need to pick a direction.
Did you feel better for unburdening this, or did you feel like that you were prying?
No, this definitely strengthened the relationship, and led to us, you know, having a great conversation about goals and aspirations and that sort of thing. My point in bringing it up is, I read the room. I was like, okay, I know her well enough at that point that she's not easily embarrassed by things. She's not a person who's like, oh, hold on, that's not okay to say, right? She's a pretty open person.
Yeah.
So I bet it's better for me to just bring it up and say, hey, I heard this, than to have it come out some other way and me go, well, I actually knew because Colin told me, right? I was like, let's just lay the cards on the table, and that worked out. A different person, that might have not worked so well.
You want to know? Here's my radical point of view on it. If it doesn't work out, it's a red flag.
I think you're right. Right? I mean, I think that's part of it too. Is I prefer people who are just sort of, you know, hey, this is the real thing, take it or leave it, right?
Well,
it's my feeling on job interviews. Like, if a job interview goes bad and you weren't able to convince the person that you're the right person for the job, you probably don't want to work there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I guess it's like, so if someone's going to react bad to publicly available information, then like what happens when something really messy happens in a relationship, which happens all the time?
Right. And so that's why it kind of really depends on who the person is and also what the information is. I mean, I can sort of, there are hints in my brain that I guess there would be information where it's just better left behind because bringing it up would just bring up pain. And maybe you need to know the person a lot longer before that. Maybe it's their story to tell kind of situation, right? Like, I can see where that would be the case, but I would feel like in the majority of cases, it's probably better to just say, hey, you know what? I noticed, you know, X, Y, and Z. It's all in the phrasing, though. It's all in the approach, right?
Yeah.
You want to make it sound like.
Wait, did you do the thing where you buried the messenger, where you're like, man, you know, Collins is such a liar. He said you were a dominatrix.
No. It was more because Colin was a really nice guy. And okay. So It was
I think I might have pulled that move a couple times. Was something that was particularly spicy. Like I'll definitely bury. I'll bury the messenger so they can dig him out.
Kelly guy, he is always saying stuff.
I know.
You know what he said to me the other day.
Because now that's also a double morality test of like, all right, are you going to sacrifice somebody slandering somebody that you know is telling the truth?
Right.
So I guess that's the opposite of healthy. Now I'm just endangering two people's for my own bizarre, twisted, Saw-like morality test. All right, Tom, thank you so much. We actually we wound up going all mailbag for this episode.
Oh, really? Nice.
And one of them was just praising you being on the end of the show. So thank you so much for being a part of it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Awesome. What is on? What is the top story on Daily Tech News Show today?
You know, it's a good question. Snap released their new spectacles. That'll definitely be something we want to kick around.
Oh my God.
There's a bunch of earnings reports. Nintendo already has theirs out, and it's super positive. But Amazon, Microsoft, Intel, they're all coming later today. I actually want to dig in a little bit on this OLED scandal that's brewing, where everybody's like, "Oh, LG Display. They had low component parts. It must be Apple. Oh, Samsung reported slow growth in OLEDs. That must be the iPhone 10. It's a disaster." And I want to kind of parse this and be like, hold on, people.
Yeah, no, there was that report like 2 weeks ago that the iPhone X was dead, right?
Yeah. And it's not. Also, the Chinese market took a dump. Like every component maker is going to have slow growth when the Chinese market drops 21%.
Yeah.
Teasing out, I'm not trying to defend Apple. I'm not trying to say no. Apple could never have a bad quarter. Of course they could. The iPhone 10 sales might be slow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this is evidence. I don't think this is clear evidence of that because there's a ton of other factors. Anyway, I kind of want to get into that.
That's a great one. No, I'm down to get all up into that. By the way, when it comes to the spectacles, if they're not taking selfies, then DGAF. They are dead in the water.
How can spectacles take selfies? They're
exactly.
on your face.
That's why. Get it out of here. They're not happening.
I see. Okay, got it.
I guess 90% of Snapchat content is people holding a phone in front of them. Like they don't want to shoot things outside of their face.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to take a selfie of you in your hot new spectacles with your spectacles.
Exactly. You need your phone to take a shot of you in your spectacles.
That's amazing.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom. We will be doing Daily Tech News Show a little bit later, and everybody who doesn't subscribe, which I don't know anybody who's listening to this that doesn't, but all 5 of you, what the hell are you waiting for? Get on the DTNS train. All right, buddy. Peace out.
All right, dude.
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. What do y'all think about this show? It's a pretty good show. This is a pretty good. It went pretty fast, man. So I'll tell you what. If you have anything that you would like to write in on any of these topics, then please go ahead and send me an email. JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Again, JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Put JuRY in the subject line, and as long as there's good stuff to talk about, these mailbag episodes might happen more often. Maybe they won't be every episode, but more often. Something that I'm down to figure out. All right, folks. That about wraps it up for this edition of the program. My name is Justin Robert Young.
What do you say we both just leave?
Get your Diamond Club stickers and pins, including the Anyway See You Later pin. Only a few of those left, by the way. Probably like 20, 25 of those left. Stickers or DIAF.com. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat @JustinRYoung. Join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, then go ahead and head on over to justinryoung.tv. Hit the subscribe button up top, link your Amazon account, and you give me free money out of Papa Bezos' wallet. I'll be in Vegas this weekend for the TMS meetup. If you're going to be there, holler at me. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please don't die.
Do you like when your friends fuck up? Don't you think you have had enough? I'll need more advice till some
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.